So continuing on with this, getting a share screen. I've mentioned this guy, Sebastian Legueux, a number of times. He's got some great tutorials, and he had one on spherical gravity. Here's the beginning of his video on first-person controller for spherical worlds. You can walk around on various little balls, and that's all very cool. His approach is way straightforward and much simpler than mine. He has 3 different scripts: a first-person controller that's oriented with the mouse, that moves in its forward direction, which is all transformed around to world coordinates with transformed direction. It's controlled as a rigid body through move position. His character did have a character controller, but it seemed to be unnecessary, and it still worked even if you took it out. He had another script, the gravity attractor and the gravity body, that handled the details of the spherical gravity. You place the gravity body on any rigid body that you want to obey the spherical gravity. And I modified it slightly so that it has a public Boolean reorient that allows you to set constraints, constraints for a character or not for an object that you might want to bounce around. His gravity body script, it requires a rigid body. And on awake, it finds the planet, gets its gravity attractor, and if it does reorient it, it sets the rigid body constraints. And in the fixed update, it just calls the gravity attractor function attract, passing it the rigid body and this reorient that we may be using. Gravity attractor contained just the function attract. And again, I modified it a little bit. First of all, he was doing attraction. I wanted it to repel. I wanted to push spherically out from the object. So I have the option of this minus sign depending whether I'm attracting or repelling. And second, I only want to reorient characters, not objects, because I want the objects to be able to roll around. So that reorient appeared there. And surprisingly, that's all that we really needed to do with this. And so here's some examples of his little setup. Here I am walking around on a sphere. I can push things that then roll further around the sphere, and I believe I can jump. Well, the jumping is not that strong here. There's weaker gravity, where now when I run too fast, I actually end up flying off the planet. And if I jump, it's not jumping. Jump, it takes me a while to fall back down. So the other thing I determined was that it was relatively easy to put a second planet in here. And so now I have 2 planets, and I can actually jump from one to the other and walk around on it and jump over here. The jump button's not working very well. There we go. So in this case, I'm gonna fall back down to the pink one. And there are all kinds of different cases that I set up, including one with 4 planets and an auto jumper who just kind of touches down and goes. And it's kind of fascinating to watch this thing navigate among the different spheres that are set up here. Uh, so uh, I'll let you look at these at your leisure, but this was adapted fairly easily to my space station case. When I first did this, I ran into a glitch that this repelling gravity is radially out from the center point. So if you got off the center line of the space station, your character would tilt a bit, and the rolling objects all tended to roll to the edge of the platform since they were being pushed radially out on that little platform. I finally figured out if I zeroed out the X component of my gravity up, that fixed this. There's another minor glitch in that because it's using the rigid body move position to transport the character around, that the character sometimes seems to slip through colliders, in particular the wall caps. Um, uh, I played with whether the is kinematic here. With it set to true, the character didn't fall, so obviously that was not right. One thing that I read in the documentation for move position states the following: if the rigid body uh, is kinetic is false, then it works differently. It works like uh, a teleportation. It just transports the object's position to the new position rather than moving it smoothly, which is the idea behind using the move position with a rigid body. Um, um, and my guess that's why it sometimes teleports. The planet version with weak enough gravity jump suggested that possibility of many planets. And obviously, I'll let you play with that. At the same time, here's my gravity space station uh, with a 50-meter ring. Uh, and if I drive off here, there's my character falling down over there. I can now drive around in here and I can still do the jump. Uh, the jump in this case allows you to jump repeatedly, in which case we can actually flip over to the far side of my torus if I jump twice, and it jumps back and forth. And I don't know if I can't trigger the bug, but anyway, this works pretty well, and I was quite happy with that. Very quickly, if this will load fairly fast, I'll show you a little tease of uh, what we'll do later when we get to Pro Builder. With Pro Builder, you can make toruses, and I made a torus, turned it inside out. Where is it? Made a torus, turned it inside out, and now let's see what's in gravity new torus. So this is now with a torus. I found the torus's collider was not real good, so I retained this little ring of beans around here. But I now have this nice toroidal space station that I'm inside. There's a case of it leaking. So anyway, I'll stop sharing here and I'll stop recording and I'll see you all in class. Bye.